Hello friends, and welcome to another edition of EasyMathsTutor, and I'm going to teach you something known as number line. Number line is a visual representation of numbers on a straight line. Okay, so when you represent numbers on a straight line, you have a zero at the center of that line. That is the origin of the line. Okay, it's a horizontal line, and then you have the numbers on the left hand side being positive and the numbers on the right hand side being negative. So what is the use of number line? Number line will help us to add negative numbers or subtract negative numbers. Have you had an issue where you try to add up some numbers and you found that some numbers are more negative than the others and there was a confusion? So by the time I'm done teaching you number line, you'll be able to add all those numbers completely. So let's start. Now this is our number line. This is our number line. It's a horizontal line, and I'll call this 0. I'll call this 0. Then let's divide the line into, say, 5 parts. Alright, 5 parts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright? So we'll call this together. Let's count it together. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is known as the number line. So the number line is very easy to use. You can use it to add numbers, positive numbers and negative numbers. For instance, let's solve our first problem. Let's say let's add 1 plus 3 using the number line. How are we going to do that? First of all, we'll jump on number 1 on the number line. We'll jump on that number. Let's say we'll jump here. Alright? A man jumps there. So if we're adding 3, we're going to count 3 from 1, starting from 1, right? So we'll have 1, 2, 3. So we hopped onto 4 after counting 3. Therefore, 4 plus 3 will give us 4. Alright? We started from 1. We counted 1, 2, 3 times on the number line. Alright? So let's do some other problem. Second problem. Okay? Let's assume we have -3 minus 4. -3 minus 4. What will be our solution? -3 minus 4. -3 minus 4. Remember, we'll start from 3. Okay? We start from 3. We'll hop on 3. And then -4. When it's positive, we'll go on our left hand side. When it's negative, we'll jump on our right hand side. Alright? So let's start that again. -3 minus 4. Alright? -3 minus 4. So from here, -3, we have to move to our right, right? So we'll move how many times? 4 times, okay? So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we landed where? On -7. We landed on 7. So our answer is minus 7. Alright? So let's try another problem. We can say minus 3 plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1. First of all, I want you to note that every single number has a sign in front of it. This number 3 has a sign in front of it, and that is negative. Alright? That sign in front of number 3 is attached to that number. It's not separate from that number. Alright? It's like a twin. So this would be called minus 3, while this would be called plus 1. But because it's plus, it becomes imaginary. So every number that does not have minus in front of it is a positive number. So let's solve this. Minus 3. Our first number on the number line will be from minus 3. From minus 3, we're going to count plus 1. That means we're going to go to the left once, right? So from 3, we'll jump once. And then we land on minus 2. We jumped what? Once. And we landed on minus 2. So that's how it goes. It's very, very easy and very straightforward. So assuming we have another problem. Let's try another problem. 4. We'll say 1 minus 2. What is 1 minus 2? Now we'll jump to the number line. This is number 1. Positive 1 on the number line. We have minus 2. Remember, minus, you have to go on your right. Okay? So we'll count 2 times on your right. So from 1, we'll count 1, 2. And we'll jump down here. Right? Counted once and twice backwards. So that gave us what? Minus 1. Okay? So that's how to use the number line to solve your arithmetic that has to do with positive numbers and negative numbers. So now, the number line can be used to only solve problems that have to do with adding and subtracting. But when you have to solve numbers that have to do with problems that have to do with multiplication and division, you may not be able to use the number line. So, for multiplication problems and division problems, there's a different way to solve them when you have negative numbers or positive numbers on them. So there's a simple code that we're going to use, right, for multiplication. It's the same code that goes multiplication and division. Alright? Multiplication and division. The same thing can go for using your brackets also. Alright? So this will be for addition. This is for addition and subtraction. This is for addition and subtraction. So, multiplication and division. Assuming you have a number, we say 3 times minus 5. What will be the answer? Now, if you are solving the problem like this, you solve it as if it's a positive, okay? 3 times 5, if it's positive, will give us what? 15. Alright? And then if you have 1 minus, the whole answer will become negative. Now let's try another one. 3 times 5. You all know that 3 times 5 will give us what? Positive 15. Alright? So let's try another one. Minus 3 times minus 5. Minus 3 times minus 5. First of all, the magnitude will be the same. That means the quantity will be the same. That's 3 times 5. We'll multiply it as if it's a positive number. 3 times 5 gives us what? 15. Then we're going to multiply the signs separately. Minus times minus gives us what? Positive. So the answer will be in positive. So let's try the final problem, which is minus 3 times 5. We'll multiply these two like it's a positive number, which will give us 15. which will give us 15. And then we'll multiply the signs separately. Since there's one minus, the answer will be minus 15. So let's move on to this other side and do for division, okay? For division, let's say 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 will give us what? Will give us 5. Alright? 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. Okay, so now let's write it down. 10 divided by 2. Now, we know that it will all give us what? 5. It will all give us 5. But when the signs come in, everything changes, alright? So, if it is minus 10 divided by 2, the answer will be minus 5. If there's one minus here, the answer will be minus 5. If there's one minus here, the answer will be minus. If there are two minus, the answer will be positive. If there are 3, the answer will be minus. If there are 4, the answer will be positive. Alright? I hope you've gotten a hang of number lines and you can use them to solve your problems. So you will say goodbye to problems with adding negative numbers and positive numbers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for ever returning subscribers. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you to our new subscribers. You're welcome to Easy Maths. Always, you're welcome to subscribe, like, and share. God bless you and have a lovely day. Thank you for watching. Bye! Hello, my wonderful friends. Good afternoon. How are we doing? Today I'm going to solve a quick question. As I was strolling down the streets of YouTube, I stumbled on a very interesting question, and I want to take that question up with each and every one of us. It's a golden exponential. Alright? So 3 raised to the power x plus 9 raised to the power x equal to 27 raised to the power s. And the question is, what is the value of x? Alright? What is the value of x? So if you're joining me live, please help me share this link out. Share the link out. Please share the link out to people that may be interested in what I'm doing here. Alright? So how do we find the value of x? First of all, I can already see a pattern in this question. I'm seeing products of 3 raised to powers, alright? So we're going to break down everything to have the same base, alright? So let's start with this. So we say 3 raised to power x, alright? Plus, we know that 9 is the same thing as x, 3 raised to power 2, alright? And we'll keep our power x up there. Then we also know that 27 is 3 raised to power 3. Alright? On this other side, just take a good look at this. 27 is equal to 3 times 3 times 3, which is the same thing as 3 raised to power 3. Alright? 9 is equal to 3 times 3, which is the same thing as 3 raised to power 2. Alright? So let's move on. So now we found something beautiful. Remember to put the power x up there. So we say 3 raised to power x plus 3. Right? So now we're going to employ the multiplication law of exponentials, which is when you have two powers within a bracket, you can multiply them to become 1. So it will be 3 raised to power 2x equal to, this other side will do the same thing, 3 raised to power 3x. Alright? So we're going to do something different right now. We'll say we're going to switch it up. Okay? We're going to switch it up. So we'll say 3 raised to power x plus 3 raised to power x squared equal to 3 raised to power x cubed. And on the side, we're going to say, we're going to capture 3 raised to power x to be one single variable, alright? So we'll say, let 3 raised to power x be represented by the letter m. Are we okay with that? I guess so. So, we're going to substitute anywhere you find 3 raised to power x with the letter m. So we have m plus m squared equal to m cubed equal to m cubed. Alright? So now we're going to move everything to one side. If I move all this to this side, right? I'm going to move all this to this side. Alright? So it will be m cubed, alright? Minus m squared, right? Minus m will give us 0. It will give us 0, alright? So now we're going to find the value of m. So they have something common. A common factor in all these 3 terms is m. So if we divide through by m, if you divide through by m, we'll come out having m squared minus m minus 1 equal to 0. Alright? So this m on this side will be cancelled out and become 0. Then we're going to have m squared minus m minus 1 equal to 0. Alright? So we're going to find the value of m in this problem. So I like to use the completing the square method. Completing the square method is another way of solving, factorizing quadratic equations, alright? So I tried using the normal method and I found out that we may not be able to get the answer normally. And I do not want to use the formula method. So I'm going to use completing the square method, alright? Alright? So that will be using completing the square method. What we have, first of all, we'll rearrange this. M squared minus m equal to 1. We're moving 1 to the other side of the equality. Alright? So when we do that, we're left with m squared minus m. So we need to get an expression that will give us this problem using completing the square method. So completing the square method, you open a bracket, you write m, right? Then you write minus 1 over 2. Minus the coefficient of m, which is 1, divided by 2. Alright? Minus 1 over 4. Minus the square of half of the coefficient of m. So that gives us 1. Alright? This bracket will be squared. This bracket will be squared. Alright? So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to say, let's move on to this side. Let's move on to this side. We're going to say m minus 1 over 2 squared, alright, equal to 1 plus 1 over 4, right? So this will give us 5 over 4. So we say m minus 1 over 2. If we find the square root of both sides, finding the square root of both sides, we're going to have m is equal to the square root of 5 over 2. Then m will be the square root of 5 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Okay? Plus 1 over 2. So m is what? M is what? Let's find the square, the LCM gives root 5 plus 1. M is equal to root 5 plus 1. So if we substitute the value of this, what are we going to have next? If we substitute the value of this, what are we going to have next? I think we're going to have an irrational number. So we're going to take the other value of m, which was 0. The other value of m, which was 0. So now if x, 3 raised to power x is equal to 0, right? Therefore, x is what? Undefined. So I'm going to try out the formula method, right? Formula method says m is equal to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, in this function, we have a as 1, b as minus 1, and c as minus 1, right? So we say m will have minus 1 plus minus 1 square minus 4 times 1 times minus 1 all over 2 times 1. So this will give us 1 plus minus the square root of 1 plus what? 4 all over 2, which still gave us 1 plus root 5 over 2 as the value of m. So, if we equate 3x to m, it will be root 5 plus 1 over 2. Hello friends. So, out of all the three solutions we got m equal to 0, we got m equal to 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, and we also got 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. So, we are going to find the value of x. If m is equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2, which is a solution I will choose because that is actually a more defined solution than the rest of the two other solutions, we will say, first of all, we will find the log of both sides. Remember, m is equal to 3 raised to power x and also equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2. We are going to find the log to base 3 on both sides, giving us log 3 raised to power x base 3 equal to log 1 plus root 5 over 2 base 3. So, you know the power above log 3 raised to power x is going to come to the side, giving us x equal to log 1 plus root 5 over 3 base 3. So if we punch it in our calculator, we're going to have a value, and that value is approximately 0.438, and we'll take that as our final answer. Thank you very much for watching this live video. So I'll see you in our next video. Stay tuned to EasyMathsTutor while we dissect all our questions. Thank you for watching, and bye. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No, I hail Nona. This is the EasyMathsTutor. I need the make I wear my glass. Anytime you see me wear glass, no say the matter not serious. Okay, now EasyMathsTutor. I know say plenty people dey fear mathematics. But for EasyMathsTutor, we no dey fear mathematics. We no dey fear mathematics. Make I comot am or make I wear am. Okay, make I comot am. So that una no go fear. Okay now, you know say for the past 2 days, I don dey share jam past questions. I don dey solve them small small for us. Make we for fit pass our mathematics during our jam. I remember say I tell una say this book na one book wey I dey use wey dey help me to see anything wey be jam question. The name of the book na Short Guide to Jam for Science. They get the one for art students too. This one get use of English, mathematics, physics, chemistry and biology. Okay now, make we no waste time at all, because this live show today, I no go waste time. I no go waste time at all. The first day wey I do live na 2021 past question wey I solve. Abi? Now the one wey I wan solve na the one wey I solve yesterday na 2020. Abi? I like as we dey progress. I like as we dey progress. Oh yeah now. So the one for 2020, I go look for some questions. If you come this live, abeg help me share this live, so that plenty people go know say this kind thing dey happen. Plenty people go know say this kind channel dey, this kind page dey for Facebook. So make una dey share am for me. Share am for me. Make una dey share am for me. Share am. As I dey, so I dey look for question where we go download this morning. I dey find question wey we go download this morning. I dey find question wey all of us go fit solve. Abi? I dey find question wey all of us go fit solve. Question wey no go worry us too much. Na wetin we dey find so. Question wey no go worry us too much. Okay, now I don see one question. I don see one question. This one na for JAMB 2020 question. This one na for JAMB 2020 question. So now question 2. They say factorize 4a plus 3. I wan make una see the question. Now they see am. Question 2. Factorize. Now see am. Okay. Factorize. I don't know why I dey sweat this morning. Make I dust my face. Okay. They say factorize. Make I start from here. Now they see the board well. Every day they try make this board dey very clear for everybody. 4a plus 3 into brackets square. 4a plus 3 bracket square minus 3a minus 2 bracket what? Square. So the question says factorize. No mind my handwriting. Factorize this problem. Now wetin they say make you do? They say make we factorize this problem. Factorize means say find the factors, find how we go break this question down, so that the factors go dey everywhere. Na wetin dey say make we do be that. Na wetin dey say make we do be that. E be like say I no copy this question well. Okay, so now when you get this kind question, the first way you go do be say you go open am, make e dey simple. This question now, they pack am together. Now as when they pack sardine inside the sardine packet, they pack am, package am. So we need to open the container so that the thing go dey easy as we see am. Hey, matter don large o. 4a plus 3, abi another 4a plus 3. You dey see am? Minus dey here, abi? So we go put the minus here. Then we go open this one. You know say as they put the bracket, come put 2, small 2 wey dey up. E mean say this bracket na 2 times wey e dey. This one times this one na e dey. Minus another one, 3a minus 2. Another bracket, 3a minus 2. You dey see am so? Na correct something o. Na correct packaging be this. 4a plus 3 bracket 4a plus 3 minus 3a minus 2 bracket 3a minus 2. Na so the thing dey move. We dey waka dey go. Na be say this problem e no large the way we dey think am. So as the thing dey like this, so wetin we go come do now? This question don dey tie wrapper o. Okay now, make we do the normal way. Make we just do am normal. So we go say this one now, this first 4a we go multiply am by this bracket. Do you understand? This 3 now we go still multiply am by the same bracket. Same thing here, we go say 3a we go multiply by this bracket. Then this minus 2 we multiply am by this bracket. Now see am so? Okay, so we go say 4a bracket 4a plus 3. We will come say plus 3 4a plus 3. Now see am so? Be like say na dey see am. That's good o. Make I turn well so that we go fit face this mark. So we say minus 3a bracket 3a minus 2. This minus now don come infect this 3a. Don't say this 3a no get minus, but this minus now don come infect am, don come be minus 3a. You see problem. Okay, na so this minus go affect this minus 2. This minus now go make this minus 2 turn to wetin? E go turn to plus 2. So here go come be plus 2, abi? 3a minus 2. I like as we dey progress for this matter. The matter don dey get belle. Okay, so now make we expand am. Make we do wetin? Make we expand am. Make we open everything, scatter the matter everywhere. No hide, make we no hide anything. 4a times 4a go give us wetin? 16a. I think 4a times 3 We go put plus here o. This plus we never divorce the plus o. Plus follow us join body. 3 times 4a will give us wetin? 12a plus 3 times 4a again will still give us wetin? 12a plus 3 times plus 3 is plus 9. Is plus 9. Now go buy me AC o. If I dey sweat for here like this so. Small cold dey do me this morning. So make una bear with me, eh? Now, this side na minus 3a times 3a. So you see this minus wey dey cause infection everywhere. You go still come infect am again. Minus and plus will become minus. Minus 3a times 3a. 3 times 3 go give you 9. A times a go be a square. Now this 4a times 4a go be a square. You see am so? A times a go be a square. Let me say the a na double now. 4 times 4 16. A times a square. You see am so? Minus 3a times minus 2. Now the only thing wey fit cancel this disease wey we dey call minus na another disease wey call minus. Now this minus and minus, you put them together, they don turn to plus. You see am? Na so when you see person wey head strong, you sef your head get to dey strong. So when you go cancel am, im head go come correct. No be so? Minus 3a times minus 2 will give you plus 6a. 2 plus 2 times 3 times a, they give you plus 6a. Be like say im brother dey here, im brother dey here, im brother dey here. Okay o. So this part now na plus 2 times minus 2. Plus 2 times minus 2. You get one disease, another disease I dey see here, minus. This minus will come infect this plus. It will come turn to minus. Minus 4. Plus 2 times minus 2 will give you plus minus 4. Dey hear am? Now see our cake don dey set. You see am? Our pot of soup don dey enter. So now make we dey join am dey go. Make we dey join am dey go. First of all, before we go anywhere, see these two. These two. Okay. Wetin we go do be say we go arrange like terms. The ones wey dey the same, we go arrange am. So it go be like this. 16a square minus 9a square. See these two, na the same. A square. Na the same family wey the 16a square minus 9a square. Now see another people wey dey here. 12a, 6a and 6a. So we go write am plus 12a plus 12a plus 6a plus 6a. I think the thing don finish. Okay. Now wetin remain na 9 minus 4 dey here, 9 dey here. Dem no carry anything join body. Nothing wey dem get wey join their body. So we go put them together. I be say na the same family wey dem dey. Family of people wey no carry any wahala join body. So e go be plus 9 minus 4. See am? You see am? So e go be like this. 16a square minus 9a square. 16 minus 9 first. Just leave this a square wey we dey see here. Oya write am here. A square. 16 minus 9 go be wetin? That will be, go be 7. 7a square. You see am? Now, you see this one wey dey here? we go write A, keep for one side. So you go comot the A, keep for one side. Now you go say 12 plus 12 plus 6 plus 6. That will give us what? 36. Abi na 36. Then this last one, 9 minus 4. That one's simple now. 9 minus 4 na 5. So they say make we factorize this one wey remain. Make we factorize this one wey remain. So if we want factorize am, first of all, I go say 5 times 7, 35. Abi? So which factor wey I go add here, wey I go use take multiply give me 35? 5 times 7. Now they see 5 times 7 will give us what? 35. Then wetin I go add now wey go give me 36, wey be factor of 35. There are 2 factors now. 1 and what? 35. 1 and 35. If I say 35 times 1, I get 35. If I say 35 plus 1, I get what? 36. You see am? So we go carry jam these factors wey dey here now. Come jam and keep for here. You see? Oya now, make we write 7a square plus 35a plus a plus 5. They say am. I like as this soup dey progress. The soup go sweet. I say the soup go sweet. See as I dey sweat. Una go buy me air conditioner. Make una buy me air conditioner so that I no go dey sweat anyhow. You know say this soup, the smoke dey come out well well. So as the thing don reach 7a square plus 35a plus a plus 5. See wetin I do here now. 35a plus a na 36a. I break am, I scatter am. I scatter. You see this problem? I don scatter am. I don bring am down. So we go put bracket here. They say make we factorize am. So we go put bracket here. We go put bracket here. This part sef don already set, a plus 5. But this part still get small grandchildren. So wetin dey here be the factor wey dey here wey go comot for here, still comot for here. Wetin I dey see so na 7a. Na wetin? 7a. So we go say 7a bracket. If 7a dey for comot for this number, 7a square, wetin go remain? A square a. If 7a comot for 7a square, wetin go remain? Na a. If 7a comot for 35a, wetin go remain? Na 5. Plus, nothing dey here. The only thing wey fit comot for this thing na 1. So we say a plus 5. Hey, this problem, I like this problem. This problem is sweet. So wetin come happen now? You say, see say a plus 5 dey here, a plus 5 dey here. So we go group am together. So this function, this problem wey dey here now, the solution to this problem now, as we stand now, is equal to what? Equal to 7a plus 1 bracket a plus 5. So this is our answer. Now our answer be this. Hey. Solution don come out. Now the answer be this. Now this problem. This problem wey you see so, na JAMB question. Na JAMB what? Question. Na JAMB pass question of 2020. Na JAMB pass question of 2020. jam pass question of 2020. You see am so? Now we don dissect. So I wan thank all of una for coming to dis show today. And if you like wetin you don learn for dis problem now today, make sure say you share dis channel to students wey go learn, to your children, to your friends, to your brothers, to your sister. I no like make dem dey go dey write exam dey fail. No need. When the thing dey simple, so why dem go dey fail? No need for dem to fail. So make una just share dis channel, share EasyMathsTutor for everybody wey you know. So I wan waka, I wan go, so I go say bye bye and God bless you. I wish you success in your JAMB examinations. Bye for now. Hello once again, friends. You're welcome to another exciting edition of EasyMathsTutor. And so today I have a very interesting problem that is sitting right behind me on the blackboard. So what is this problem? Let's read it together. It's a right angle triangle with 3 sides written in terms of a variable x. X is an unknown number that has different values, alright? So the right side is x over 10, the bottom or the adjacent is x minus 1, while the hypotenuse is x plus 1. So our question today is, find the value of x in the right angle triangle by Pythagoras Theorem. So we all know what a right angle triangle is. If you want to know, go and check my video on triangles, alright? So the right angle triangle is a triangle in which one side is 90 degrees. One side is 90 degrees. So there's a theorem that we use, or a law, that every right angle triangle obeys or follows. And that law is known as the Pythagoras Theorem. So what does the Pythagoras Theorem state? Pythagoras Theorem states that the sum of the square of the 2 sides of the right angle triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse of the same triangle. So let's assume by using this right angle triangle as a case study, right? So let's go to this side to solve it, right? So now, using Pythagoras theorem, the square of this side, this square plus this square is equal to this square. Alright? So we say x over 10 squared, alright? Plus x minus 1 squared, alright? Is equal to x plus 1 squared. So we follow what? Pythagoras theorem. Right? And this happens only for what? A right angle triangle. It follows only for a right angle triangle. So what we're going to do next, we're going to expand this function. We're going to expand this function. So if we expand this, we'll have x squared over 100. Alright? X squared, that's x times x, all over 10 times 10, giving you x squared all over 100. Plus, we're going to square this x minus 1, x minus 1, equal to x plus 1, x plus 1. Alright? So we expand them all. So all we have x squared over 100 plus. Now we're going to open up this bracket. So we have x times x minus 1 and minus 1 times x minus 1. We also open this other bracket. We have x plus 1 plus 1 x plus 1. Alright? I hope you're following what I'm doing. So we have x squared over 100 plus. So we're going to expand this, giving us x squared minus x. Alright? We're going to expand this, giving us minus x plus 1. X times x gives you x squared. X times minus 1 gives you minus x. Minus 1 times x gives you minus x. And minus 1 times minus 1 gives you plus x. So it's going to be equal to this other side. X times x gives you x squared. X times 1 gives you x plus 1 times x gives you x. 1 times 1 gives you 1. Alright? So I'm going to do a quick trick. Alright? Anything I see that's the same on this side will cancel itself out. Any term you see occurring on both sides of the equality sign will cancel itself out. Okay, that's a trick I'm going to teach you in mathematics. So x squared will cancel x squared. 1 will cancel 1. Alright? Leaving us with minus x plus x plus x. So we have x squared over 100 plus, minus x is the same thing as minus 2x. Alright? Plus x is the same thing as what? 2x. Alright? So this is going to jump over to this side. This is going to jump over to this side. Or this can also jump over to this side. Whichever way, they are going to be correct. So let's push it to this side. We have x squared over 100, right? Minus 2x, minus 2x, minus 2x. This 2 jumps over and becomes what? Minus 2x. Alright? So what would our answer be? What would our answer be? Our answer for going down will be x squared over 100 minus 4x equal to 0. Minus 4x equal to 0. So now to normalize this equation, we're going to multiply through by 100. We don't want 100 being on that, so we're going to multiply through by 100. So if we do that, we will have x squared minus 400 x minus 400x equal to 0. Right? So that's what we're having here. That's what we're having here. So remember there's a function, a very popular function we have in mathematics, the quadratic function, right? Now there are two methods of solving this problem. Now the long method, we're going to compare a typical quadratic function, x minus a into bracket square, to give us this function, and we're going to compare it with x squared minus 400x equal to 0. And then from there we're going to know how to get the value of x. Or we go with the short method, which is x squared minus 400x equal to 0, making x squared equal to 400x, dividing both sides by x. So when you divide both sides by x, you will have x equal to 400. This is a shorter and simpler method of finding this problem, but in the next slide we're going to show you how to solve the longer method. Now So look at this function. Let's expand it. X minus a, x minus a. Expand it, you have x minus a x minus a, giving us x squared minus ax minus a squared, right? Minus 2ax minus a squared. So this is what I'm trying to achieve, right? So if we do this, x minus a squared plus a squared, we will have what? X squared minus 2a. We substitute this here, right? We will have x squared minus 400x. So let's substitute 2a equal to 400. Therefore, a is what? 200, right? So let's substitute a into this equation to give us this, right? So we'll have x minus 200 squared minus 200 squared, right? Equal to 0. Equal to 0. Right? So that will give us x minus 200 squared equal to what? 200 squared. So if we cancel out these squares, we'll be left with x minus 200 equal to 200. So that means x is equal to 200 plus 200. Therefore, x is equal to 400.
This life no balance. This life no balance.
We've come to the end of this particular question, so you can go back and revise, go through all of them. Thank you for watching Easy Maths, a channel where mathematics is easy and where we make maths learning out of each and every one of us. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, turn on the notification bell in case there's an update. Thank you for watching. Bye!
Are you great? Good afternoon to everyone.
What do you say?
Will you keep quiet? Greeting. Come back and greet me. Where? Come back. Come back and greet me. Where you are coming from? Come back and greet me. Look at the way you are dressing.
Jesus! Yes! Jesus!
Did I say you should need that?
Hello friends, you're welcome to another edition of EasyMathsTutor, and I want to say welcome to my returning subscribers, and thank you for those that always make sure they are on this show watching. So today we're going to talk about polynomials. So we're going to solve a quick question or so many other problems on polynomials. So first of all, before we move ahead, we have different terms that we use when we describe polynomials. Polynomial, a function that has variables, all right? A variable could be x, y, z, a, b, c, any letter, but it's actually a a term in the equation that is not known. So polynomial, you have a monomial. A monomial function has only one term. A binomial has two terms. A trinomial has three terms, and so on and so forth. And then also, among those terms, the variable could be raised to power 1. If the variable x is raised to power 1, it's known as a first degree polynomial. If the variable x is raised to power 2, it's known as a second degree polynomial. If the variable has, if in the term, one of the variables x is raised to a third power, it's a third degree what? Polynomial. While if this term or expression has a variable raised to the fourth power, it is known as a fourth degree polynomial. And then if the variable x raised to power 5, it's known as a fifth degree polynomial. All right, it doesn't matter the position of that variable. All right, so long as it's the highest power in that expression and it has 5 or whatever number, then it is what? The fifth degree. And then if it's a variable that is raised to power 0, it is known as the 0th degree polynomial. X raised to power 0, right? And we know x raised to power 0 will give us 1. X raised to power 0 will give us 1. So 1 times 9 will give us what? 9. Therefore 9 is a 0th degree polynomial, right? So let's identify these polynomials, right? So this, we'll call this a monomial because it has only one term. While we'll call this other one a binomial because I can see two terms. While I'll call this a trinomial because I can see three terms. This will be called a binomial. This will be called a binomial. This will be called a monomial. Okay, welcome back. So, adding polynomials. Adding polynomials. So we're going to add polynomial in a horizontal format. Now the horizontal format involves arranging the terms, the additions, into like terms. Alright? So first of all, we'll open up the bracket. Since it's a plus sign, means if we open up this bracket, nothing much will happen to this polynomial. So we'll have 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus x plus 2x squared plus x cubed minus 1, right? So we're going to arrange these according to their like terms. So each term has to have the same what? Variable with the same power. So we arrange all the terms that have x raised to power 3 together, right? So we say 2x raised to power 3 plus what? Plus x raised to power 3. Alright, so we've arranged this one and we've arranged what? This one. So the next one is what? Minus 5x squared. So we say minus 5x squared. So which other term has x squared? This one, right? So we say plus 2x squared. So we're left with this term, a 1 degree or a first degree what? Term. So we'll write plus x. And then we're left with a 0 degree variable term. So we'll have minus 1. Right? So if we're adding up 2x cubed plus x cubed, first of all, just write x cubed. Right? So we say 2 plus 1 will give us what? 3. Right? Then the next term is x squared. So we say minus 5 plus 2. Remember what I said about adding negative and positive numbers? So the number that is more negative is higher, is greater. That's 5. So we'll say 5 minus 2, that's 3. Therefore, the answer will be negative minus 3. Then we have plus x and minus 1. So this is the solution for adding this. This is a solution for adding this polynomial, but we use the horizontal method. So we're going to use the vertical method right now. Alright, so we're going to add this vertically. Okay, so the vertical way of adding polynomials is just a way of rearranging these polynomials, right? So we're going to write it in a vertical method. We'll first of all write the first part, the first polynomial, which is 3x squared plus x minus 6, right? Then we're going to write the other one. We're going to write x squared plus 4x plus 10. Then we're going to add it up. So first of all, add this. We'll write x squared down, and then we'll add 3 plus 1. We know there's an imaginary 1 in front of every empty term, so, or empty variable. So to be 3 plus 1 gives us 4. And then we're going to add, first of all, write x here, and then we'll add 4 plus 1, which will give us 5. It's positive, so we'll put our plus sign. And then here, there is no variable, right? Here, or is a variable raised to power 0. That's a 0 degree. So we say 10 minus 6 will give us what? 4, and 4 is positive. So that's our answer, and that's how to add up polynomials vertically. So right now we're going to subtract polynomials with this problem. We're finding the difference between 6m squared plus 3 into bracket minus another bracket minus m squared plus 2m minus 1. So we're going to solve this horizontally. We're going to solve this horizontally. We're going to open up the brackets, alright? We'll open up this first bracket. We have 6m squared plus 3, right? We'll open up this bracket. There's a negative sign, so this negative sign is going to multiply by each of the terms, right? So we'll say, assume this is minus 1, right? Minus 1 times minus m squared will give us plus m squared. Minus times plus 2m will give us minus 2m. Minus times minus 1 gives us plus 1. As you can see, minus will always overshadow the plus. So we're going to rearrange it according to their like terms. We're going to rearrange the terms together. See, these two terms will be placed together, right? Then the others will also be placed accordingly. So we have 6m squared plus m squared. The next following is 2m minus 2m, followed by plus 3, followed by plus 1. Alright? So we'll put m squared here. 6 plus 1 will give us 7. We have 2m plus 3, 3 plus 1 plus 4. So this is our answer when we subtract polynomials. Now I'm going to solve the same problem vertically, right? So we'll rearrange it. We'll have 6m squared, right? Let's just leave it there. Then we have minus m squared, all right? Plus 2m minus 1. And then we have plus 3. Okay, see what I did there? I had to jump because there is no term with 1 degree in this polynomial. There's no term with what? 1 degree in this polynomial. It's actually 0. So here there'll be a 0. Okay, so we can say plus 0m. So let's subtract this. Subtracting this, right? So first of all, we'll write m squared. So we say 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1, right? Will give you 6 plus 1 will give you 7. So we'll have 7 here. Alright? Then we have to say 0 minus 2. Because of this minus has affected this minus. This minus has affected everything in this bracket, right? So it's going to be 0 minus 2, which is minus 2. So this answer will be minus 2. And then the last one, we have plus 3 minus 1. Alright? So that will give us 3 plus 1, which is the same thing as 4. So this is our answer for subtraction of polynomials. So please stay tuned for our next edition of polynomials, where we're going to divide, multiply, and factorize polynomials. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a wonderful and lovely day ahead of you. Bye.
This life, no balance. This life, no balance.
Please don't put me down. You're lying. Stand up, oh. Stand up, oh. I mean, stand up.
You were not informed.
Exactly.
On this problem, do you know 80% of students and teachers will not be able to solve this problem? So let's explore and jump right ahead. X squared minus 9x plus 8 is equal to 0. We'll move 8 to the other side of the equation, which will give us x squared minus 9 equal to, which will give us x squared minus 9x equal to minus 8. And so for us to complete this square, we'll open a bracket and write x minus 9 over 2 into bracket square. 9 over 2 because we're going to have half of the coefficient of x, which is 9. Then we'll subtract that half of coefficient squared, which is 81 over 4. So if we move minus 81 over 4 to the other side, we will have 81 over 4 minus 8. So now at this point, what are we going to do? We're going to find the... So 81 over 4 minus 8 will give us, we'll find the LCM of both, which is 4. 81 minus 32, which will give us 49 over 4. So at this point, we'll find the square root of both sides, which will give us x minus 9 over 2 and 7 over 2. X minus 9 over 2 equal to 7 over 2. Move x minus 9 over 2 equal to 7 over 2. We're going to move minus 9 over 2 to the other side, which will give us 7 over 2 plus 9 over 2. And then when we add up these mixed fractions, our final answer will be 16 over 2. Now 16 over 2 is 8. Therefore, the value of x using completing the square method will give us 8.